it's Claire here from JH Coaching. Weight and running has been something that has been spoken about a little bit more openly in the media more recently in the last few years, with several quite prominent runners coming forward to discuss their own problems with eating disorders and running. I think this comes back to the concept that we need to be a certain weight to compete in running, and in particular here I'm thinking about trail running. I think the most important thing with running, and in particular with trail running, but with any type of sport, is that you are a healthy weight. So what is a healthy weight? Well, a good rule of thumb is to follow the guidelines by the Body Mass Index, which you can see a chart of up here. If you fall within the accepted range for the Body Mass Index, you're probably going to be a healthy weight. There are some outliers to this, and if you are one of those outliers, it's probably best to think really carefully and discuss this with a qualified person. In particular, people who carry a lot of muscle can sometimes come over as being overweight or obese, when in fact they're clearly not obese because they're not carrying fat. More key to this is thinking about if you're under the guidelines for the Body Mass Index. That's where it's probably a good idea to make sure that you're carrying a little bit more weight, just to make sure that you're not underweight. There are two sides to this coin. Clearly, if you're carrying excess weight, and by excess weight I mean weight that you don't need, then clearly running is going to be harder for you, and running uphill in particular is going to require more effort and work. It's also going to put more strain on your heart if it's fat. That said, being underweight and not having enough fat and not having enough fuel to fuel your training and your racing is equally as dangerous. Whilst you might be able to get up the hill more easily, you reduce your chances of actually getting to the start line of a race, because your immune system is going to be lower and you're going to be more susceptible to illness. And also you're going to be more susceptible to injury, as your body simply doesn't have enough fuel to repair itself after hard sessions and racing. So as you can see, it's a fine balance. While you don't want to risk a syndrome like the reduced energy deficiency in sports syndrome, summarised above here, equally you want to be a healthy weight and make sure that you're not carrying excess weight that you don't need. That said, there's nothing wrong with doing a trail race, even if you do have some excess weight, and it can be a good way of managing weight and indeed losing weight if that's what you want to do. Running is a really great way to burn some calories. If you're carrying a lot of excess weight, there's still no reason why you can't do a trail race. It's just a question of being really careful to work within your own fitness levels. So there's no good starting a 20k race if you've never run more than 3k in your life. But starting small with some training followed by a short 5k trail race can be a really fun way of managing your weight if that's what you want to do. Or if you just fancy enjoying the social side of running and getting involved in some local races. A word about women. In general, women need to carry more fat than men. What I'm not saying here is that eating disorders are only the problems of women. They're certainly not. This is a problem that goes across the sexes. But for women, I think there's been an assumption that they can carry the same amount of fat as men, and that's certainly not true. If you look at the chart here, you can see that on average women do need to carry more fat than men, and that varies from sport to sport. I'm a bit gutted that I couldn't find anything to do with trail running. This was the best chart I could find, but it does show that in general women's body composition is different for various reasons, and it's important to work with your body composition and not trying to create a body composition that's unrealistic. Ultimately, our bodies are there to help us through our journey through life, and while there's a lot of pressure from the media for us to look a certain way, the most important thing as far as I'm concerned is that I can enjoy my running, and I can only do that if I am a healthy weight. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked this video and you want to see more videos like this, then do subscribe to the channel and give us a like. If you hit the bell button after you've subscribed, then you'll always be notified if there's a new video and you'll never miss one. Thanks, bye!